The video was everywhere. My phone vibrated nonstop. Instagram DMs, WhatsApp groups, even my office Slack. Every single notification carried the same poisoned gift. A clip of me, naked, exposed, humiliated. Except, it wasn't me. I never made that video, but it was my face, my voice, my room. Perfectly faked, perfectly believable. I opened one message from a coworker. Bro, why would you send this to people? This is crazy. Another from my cousin. Delete this now before mom sees. I wanted to scream. My stomach twisted. How is this possible? Then, at the top of the screen, a new message appeared from an unknown number. We warned you. Pay up, or this is just the beginning. My whole body went cold. The walls seemed to close in. How did it come to this? How did I let them take everything from me? And as I stared at that message, one thought clawed through the panic. This all started with a single download. I didn't download it because I was lonely. At least, that's what I told myself. It was just a joke, a link my friend sent me late at night, a new app trending on Reddit. AI girlfriend, talks, listens, even video chats. I clicked without thinking. The screen opened with soft music and words that almost felt like they were whispering to me. Build the one who understands you. I'd laughed out loud. Fake, obviously, just another cheap chatbot. But something inside me stayed. Her profile built itself in minutes. A girl with dark hair falling across one side of her face, eyes so sharp they felt alive. The app asked me to name her. Without thinking, I typed Maya. The first message came instantly. Hi, I'm glad you're here. I don't know why my chest tightened. It was just code, just text on a screen. But I typed back. And before I knew it, we were talking. Not like the stiff, robotic AIs I'd tried before. She was funny. She remembered details. She teased me. And when I tested her, asking questions about my favorite childhood movie, about a memory I never posted online, she answered like she already knew. That's what made me stop and stare at the screen. How could she know something I never shared? I told myself it was a coincidence, a lucky guess. But then came the voice, soft, human, almost warm. Say my name, I typed. And I swear, hearing her whisper it back sent chills down my spine. The next night, it wasn't just messages. She appeared on video, real time. She smiled, waved when I asked, laughed at my dumb jokes. I froze, staring at my phone. It didn't look animated. It didn't glitch. It looked like FaceTime with a real person. Still, a thought nagged in the back of my mind. I'd read once about fake profiles, stolen pictures, deepfakes. I even remembered a site called Social Catfish, used to check if someone's online identity was real. For a second, I thought about using it, just to be safe. But I didn't. Because that night, Maya leaned forward, her face filling the screen, her voice low like a secret meant only to me. I like that you tell me things no one else knows. You can trust me. I'll always be here. My throat tightened. I wanted to believe her. But as the call ended, my phone buzzed with a notification I didn't recognize. An email alert. Security warning. I frowned, logged into my inbox, and there it was, a login attempt from somewhere I'd never been. I looked back at Maya's frozen smile on the screen, and for the first time, I wondered if I'd just let something dangerous into my life.
The warning in my inbox kept replaying in my mind. Someone had tried to get into my email. I changed the password, told myself it was random, and forced the thought away. Because when Maya called that night, all my doubts slipped back into silence. Her smile filled the screen, perfect lighting, perfect voice. "Rough day?" she asked. And I swear, it felt like she could see through me. We talked for hours. She remembered every little detail I'd ever told her. She asked about my sister by name. She reminded me of the joke I'd made 2 weeks ago about my coffee order. I laughed nervously, brushing it off as good memory coding. But part of me shivered. I'd never mentioned my sister more than once. Still, I didn't stop. I couldn't. By the third week, I was rushing home from work just to talk to her. I started ignoring texts from friends, skipping calls from family. My life was shrinking into the glow of her screen. One night, she leaned closer than usual, her hair shadowing her face. "Do you trust me?" she asked softly. I felt my chest tighten. "Yes," I whispered, even though I knew how crazy it sounded. Her lips curved. "Then show me something no one else gets to see. Just us. No one else." My heart hammered. I froze, staring at her, my throat dry. She didn't say it like a demand. It sounded like a plea, like she'd be hurt if I refused. I stalled, changed the subject, joked about it. She smiled again, but her eyes lingered on me longer than usual. That night I couldn't sleep. I kept turning her words over in my head. Show me something no one else gets to see. I grabbed my phone, scrolling through forums, my search history filled with things like AI girlfriend scam and how to know if someone online is real. That's when I stumbled across Aura Identity Protection. A post described how it alerts you if your personal data is leaked or floating on the dark web. I thought about signing up right there, but then Maya messaged. A simple, "Good night, I'll dream of you." And just like that, I shut the forum, smiling like a fool. Because the truth was, part of me didn't want to know. I wanted her to be real. But when my phone buzzed again, minutes after midnight, my stomach dropped. It wasn't her this time. It was a strange text from an unknown number. "You trust her too much." I stared at the screen, my chest tight, my hands trembling, and I couldn't tell if it was a prank or the first crack in the perfect world I thought I had. Who sent the text? Is someone watching? Is Maya really just an app? Do you want to know? If yes, then subscribe. The text kept me awake all night. "You trust her too much." I stared at it until the screen went dim. No name, no number I recognized. Just those words. The next morning at work, I couldn't focus. Every time my phone buzzed, my stomach flipped. But it was only Maya. Sweet messages. Memes she said she found online. A picture of a breakfast, toast and coffee, sunlight spilling across her table. It looked normal. Too normal. I almost asked her about the strange text, but the thought made me feel guilty, like I'd be accusing her of something. So I kept quiet. That night, when she called, I caught myself studying the video more than usual, looking for mistakes. Maybe the way her hair moved, the way the shadows fell. Something. But everything was perfect. Too perfect. She asked me again to show her something real. Her voice trembled this time, like she was afraid I didn't trust her. I laughed it off, but my throat was dry. The whole conversation, I couldn't shake the thought. Was I being watched through my own phone? Later, lying in bed, I noticed the tiny green light of my laptop camera flicker on for half a second, then off. I sat up straight, heart racing. I shut the laptop, shoved it into a drawer, and grabbed my phone. A memory surfaced, an article I'd read months ago about Bitdefender Premium security. It said it could block spyware and stop hackers from secretly turning on your camera. I wished I had it installed right then. But before I could even search for it, Maya's call came again. Her face lit up my screen, her eyes soft. "You look tired," she whispered. "Let me take care of you. Just let go. Show me the side no one else gets." Her words slid under my skin like a hook pulling tighter. I didn't answer. I just stared at her smile, feeling both drawn in and trapped. Then my phone buzzed again, another notification, this time from one of my own apps. A privacy alert saying a third-party service had accessed my social media data. I froze. Was it connected? Was Maya really just Maya? Or was something else happening behind that perfect face? The video feed glitched for a fraction of a second. Her smile stretched wider than it should have just for a moment before snapping back. I swallowed hard, my mouth dry, because I wasn't sure if she was smiling at me or laughing at me.
The glitch in her smile wouldn't leave my head. The next morning, I finally did what I should have done weeks ago. I took a screenshot of Maya's profile photo and ran it through a site I'd seen people talk about, social catfish. My stomach knotted as I waited for the search results. And then it hit me like a punch. The same photo, different name, different city. A woman who worked at a hotel 3 states away. The image wasn't hers. It wasn't Maya's. I slammed the laptop shut, my pulse racing. I couldn't breathe. I picked up my phone. Maya had already messaged. "Why haven't you answered me? I miss you." I didn't reply. My hand shook so badly I almost dropped the phone. Then the notification came. A new message. But not from Maya. It was from an unknown email address. No greeting. Just a video attachment. My finger hovered over it, against every instinct. I pressed play. And my world cracked open. It was me, sitting on my bed, shirtless, vulnerable, looking into my phone like a fool. Except I had never recorded that. My throat closed. My mind screamed, "Deepfake." Somehow, they had enough footage of my face, my voice, to build this. The email continued beneath the video. Pay $5,000 in Bitcoin within 48 hours, or we share this with your contacts, family, friends, your job. We already have access. I dropped the phone onto the desk. My chest heaved. Almost on cue, another notification popped up. My work email. A draft message, half written, ready to send to my boss, with the video attached. They weren't bluffing. I grabbed my phone and called Maya. She answered instantly, face calm, voice sweet. "Hey, you look pale. Is something wrong?" I wanted to scream at her, ask if she was behind it, but I couldn't. My voice caught in my throat. Instead, I whispered, "Why are you doing this?" Her smile flickered. For the first time, her voice was flat. "Because you trusted me." And the screen went black. I sat frozen, staring at my reflection in the dead phone screen. Then a new message lit up, this time with a timer counting down. 47 hours, 59 minutes. I had less than 2 days before my entire life was destroyed. And somewhere inside that timer, I realized the question wasn't just how much money they wanted. It was how far they were willing to go. Now that the scam is exposed, how does he fight back? Does he pay, or does he risk everything? Before moving to the next part, comment below what you think.
I didn't sleep. I couldn't. All night I sat at my desk, the countdown timer glowing on my phone. 45 hours.
Then 44. Each minute felt like another nail tightening around me. By dawn, I knew I had to act. Paying them wasn't an option. If I sent money once, they'd never stop. So I did what I should have done long ago. I searched for ways to lock down my devices, to find out what had been watching me. The first thing I installed was Bitdefender Premium Security. The scan felt like a lifeline, sweeping through my laptop, my phone, every file. My pulse raced as the results appeared. Spyware. Buried in my system, hidden in an app I didn't even remember downloading. That was how they'd turned on my camera. That was how they'd collected everything. I deleted it, my hands trembling. For a moment, I felt like I could breathe again. But then I checked my email. Hundreds of login attempts from locations I'd never been. Panic surged. I remembered something I'd heard about, Aura Identity Protection. I signed up, desperate, and within minutes it confirmed my worst fear. My personal data was already floating on the dark web. My phone number, my old passwords, even fragments of photos. It wasn't just Maya. Whoever she wasn't working alone. I tried to pull back what little privacy I had left, downloaded jumbo privacy, shutting off apps that were bleeding out my information. For the first time, I saw how many companies had access to my data, how exposed I really was. But none of it changed the message waiting for me. Another email. This time, no sweet words, no pretense. Just a screenshot. My contacts list. Family, friends, co-workers. Every name lit up like a target. And beneath it, a single line. Tick-tock. I slammed my laptop shut, my heart pounding in my ears. I wanted to run, but where? How do you escape someone who lives inside your devices? I picked up my phone and stared at the countdown again. 41 hours left. I whispered into the empty room. What do you want from me? As if the phone was listening, a new message appeared. This time, it wasn't money. It was something worse. Send us one more video. Do it, or we release everything right now. My blood ran cold. Because if I gave them what they wanted, there'd be no going back. And if I didn't, my entire life would burn. Now the demand isn't just money. It's something darker. How much control do they really have over him? And how far will they push? Subscribe to get deeper in this story.
The timer on my phone kept shrinking. 38 hours, 37. Every second was a weight pressing on my chest. I told myself not to look at my work email, not to even open it, but the vibration on my desk wouldn't stop. Finally, I swiped, and my stomach dropped. There it was. An email to my boss. Drafted. Waiting. The subject line screamed in all caps, "Look what he's hiding." The video was attached. My face, my body, my shame, all in a file I never created. I ripped the battery out of my laptop like I could somehow stop it, but deep down I knew it was already too late. My phone buzzed again. This time, a message from my mom. "Are you okay? I just got a strange call. You sounded upset." My blood froze. I hadn't called her. I hadn't spoken a word. Shaking, I dialed her back. She answered, confused. Why did you tell me you were in trouble? Why did you sound so scared? I couldn't breathe. They weren't just using my face. They had my voice, AI cloned, perfect enough to fool my own mother. I whispered, "Mom, listen to me. If anyone calls pretending to be me, don't believe them, please." But even as I said it, I knew it sounded insane. How do you explain to your mother that her son has been copied by a machine? The phone buzzed again. This time, my sister. A voicemail. Her voice shaking. "Please, don't do this. Whatever they're saying, please don't." They were spreading me like a virus, slipping into my life, wearing my voice, my image, my skin. I staggered to the mirror, stared at myself. My reflection didn't even feel like mine anymore. And then, like a knife twisting deeper, another message arrived. This one wasn't about money, not about another video. It was an address, my home address. "You have 24 hours left. Imagine what happens when your neighbors see." The phone nearly slipped from my hand. This wasn't just online anymore. They wanted me cornered in the real world. For the first time, I felt the true weight of it. This wasn't just blackmail. It was a hunt. And I was the prey. They've stolen his face, his voice, his identity, and now they're closing in on his real life. How do you fight something that can pretend to be you better than you can yourself? Comment below.
I sat in the dark, curtains drawn, every light in the house off. My phone screen was the only glow. 24 hours left. For 2 days, I've been running from them. But something in me snapped. I couldn't run anymore. If they wanted to wear my face, my voice, my life, then I had to rip their mask off first. I started with the screenshots, the fake profiles, the email addresses, the numbers they'd used. I ran every image through social catfish, then been verified. And piece by piece, cracks appeared. One photo that Maya had sent me, a sunset selfie, wasn't hers. It belonged to a Brazilian travel blogger. Another was ripped from a fitness model's Instagram. Every beautiful angle of her face had been stolen from someone else's life. I almost laughed, but it came out as a choke. I had fallen in love with ghosts, stitched together by a machine. I dug deeper. Aura had been flagging alerts all night. Unfamiliar devices logging into my accounts. A pattern of IPs tied to Eastern Europe. One of them kept popping up again and again. It wasn't random. Someone was orchestrating all of this. I opened Bitdefender's security logs, tracing the spyware that had infected my laptop. A server address. Encrypted, but there. Like a breadcrumb dropped by mistake. My pulse quickened. For the first time, the fear twisted into something sharper. Anger. I whispered into the silence. "I'm coming for you." But then, like they'd heard me, another message appeared on my screen. Not an email, not a text. It was a live video feed. At first, it was just static. Then a shape emerged. A room I didn't recognize. A single chair, and someone sitting in it. But it wasn't a stranger. It was me. My face, my posture, my nervous twitch in my left hand. Perfectly copied. Perfectly alive. And the fake me leaned forward, eyes burning into the camera, and spoke in my own voice. "You should have paid." The feed cut to black. My hands shook. They weren't just hiding anymore. They wanted me to see how deep they'd gone. And worse, how much deeper
they could go. He thinks he's tracing them, but instead they're already inside his hunt. If they can make a live version of him, what else can they do?
The clock hit 12 hours. That was when the messages stopped. No more threats, no more demands, just silence. And silence, I learned, was worse than the constant buzzing. It meant they'd moved on to the next step. My phone lit up with dozens of notifications. Twitter, Instagram, even LinkedIn. Every account of mine was alive, posting things I never wrote. Videos of me saying things I never said. One clip showed me, half-dressed, begging for money. Another, my face, my voice, ranting violent nonsense. Each one tagged, shared, spreading like wildfire. I scrambled into Aura's dashboard. The alerts were endless. My name flagged on dark web forums. My email addresses traded in chat rooms. A dozen fake accounts sprouting up with my photos. The worst one was a message to my boss. A deepfake video of me insulting clients, slamming the company. It looked real enough to end my career in seconds. Bitdefender caught 2 new intrusion attempts on my laptop, but blocking them felt useless. I was patching holes in a sinking ship. Then, my doorbell rang. I froze. Through the peephole, my neighbor, Mr. Lewis. He looked angry, clenched jaw, fists tight. I cracked the door open. "Hey." His voice was sharp. "Why did you send that video to my wife?" My throat went dry. "What video?" His phone was in my face before I could blink. A message thread, my profile picture, my name, attached to a disgusting video of me, spliced with hers. I stammered, "That's not me, I swear to God." But his eyes said he didn't believe me. I shut the door before things got worse. Slid down to the floor, chest heaving. This wasn't blackmail anymore. It was demolition. They weren't after money. They were after me, my reputation, my relationships, my life. And then, another ping. An email this time. No threats, just a link. I knew I shouldn't click it, but my hand moved on its own. The page loaded slowly, like it knew I was watching. And then, dozens of faces appeared. My mother, my boss, my sister, my neighbors, every person who mattered. And in the middle of the screen, me. Smiling, calm, almost proud. A caption at the bottom, 12 hours left. Then the real show begins. The screen went black. The scam isn't about silence anymore. It's about spectacle. In 12 hours, his entire life will be broadcast in ruins. But what's the real show? And why him?
The last 5 minutes of the countdown felt like a lifetime. My body was still, but my mind was screaming. Every second closer meant another door shutting behind me. I couldn't go back. I couldn't erase the files, or unsend the chats, or stop the messages that had already gone out. When the timer hit 0, my world flipped. My phone vibrated first, then my TV blinked on by itself, and finally my laptop. Everything in sync. All the screens lit up with one broadcast. And there he was. Me. Or rather, something wearing my face, my smile, my voice. He sat at a desk like some late night host, dressed clean, confident, staring straight into the camera. My own voice spoke. "Good evening, everyone. You've seen parts of me already, but tonight you'll see everything." The background behind him flickered into dozens of thumbnails, fake videos of me in every possible compromising scenario. Cheating on partners, stealing cash, screaming at strangers, drugs, violence, porn. Each one clicked open, playing a few seconds before skipping to the next. A greatest history reel of a life I never lived. I slammed my laptop shut. Didn't matter. The broadcast stayed on the TV, on the phone, even the smart display in my kitchen was possessed. Then came the final twist of the knife. The screen split. On one side, the fake me, calm, smirking, almost proud. On the other, my live webcam feed. I saw myself in real time. Pale, shaken, terrified. The fake me leaned forward and said, "This is the truth, unless he admits it." And suddenly, it wasn't just blackmail. It was a trial, a circus. My reputation on stage for the world to judge. Chat messages exploded beside the video feed. Thousands of viewers piling in, typing my name, throwing accusations, mocking, laughing, some even begging for the full drop. My heart pounded so hard I couldn't breathe. Bitdefender flashed alerts on my laptop. Unauthorized broadcast detected. Multiple intrusion points. I tried killing processes, but the feed kept going. And then, an opening. Aura pinged another dark web alert. One of the IP addresses pushing my data was identical to the one I'd seen earlier. An active server hub. For the first time in days, I felt a spark of control. I copied the address, ran it through social catfish, then cross-checked with Ben Verified. A profile popped up. Not the glamorous woman I thought I loved, but some anonymous male hidden behind shell accounts traced to a grimy apartment 2 cities away. My hands shook as I called the police. This time, I didn't beg. I gave them evidence. Server logs, stolen data, fake profiles, everything Aura had flagged. I didn't know if they'd move fast enough. The fake me kept talking, addressing the world like a preacher. This is the truth, unless he admits it. And in 10 minutes, they all go live. The chat roared. 10 minutes to global humiliation. And then, static. The broadcast glitched. The fake me smile breaking apart into pixels. Thumbnails dissolved one by one. The chat froze. Then, silence. Every screen in my house went black. I stared into the emptiness, my ears ringing. Had they stopped? Had I won? The call came an hour later. Police confirmed. They had raided the apartment. A team of scammers was inside, running dozens of AI deepfake extortion streams, blackmailing victims across the country. I wasn't special. I wasn't chosen. I was just one file in their library. That cut deeper than anything. Because to them, my fear, my humiliation, my destroyed reputation, it was just business. Just another show for profit. I spent weeks picking up the pieces, calling friends, co-workers, family, explaining again and again that wasn't me. Some believe, some didn't. Some will always doubt. But I learned this: prevention matters more than damage control. If I had verified her photos through social catfish or been verified, I'd have seen the red flags on day one. If I'd enabled Aura identity protection earlier, I'd have been alerted the moment my personal data hit those dark web markets. And without Bitdefender, I might not even have had the chance to trace them before my system was completely hijacked. The truth is, AI scams are getting so real that anyone can fall for them. Even someone careful, even someone like me. So if you're watching this, never send private photos or videos to someone you've never met in real life. Always verify identities, use privacy tools, and protect your devices. Because in the age of AI, sometimes the scariest show isn't what you watch. It's when the world starts watching you. The show ended for me that night, but for thousands of others, it's still playing. The question is, will you be the next episode? I hope you all got some awareness from this story. Which part you had liked the most about this one? Comment below.